I'm sure there'll be some young people when they hear the news that, that might have been putting off, say, for example, working holiday programs and things like that, might start to plan what they can do next year. Business people will be very pleased to know that they don't have to go into hotel quarantine or into Darwin, for example. So there's a lot of activity, I would imagine, for that pent-up M&A demand that we've been hearing about. Um, Other people looking to travel at the end of the year, that might be, interesting spot for people to visit, and they see Australia as being relatively safe. But of course, it's a unilateral one-way flow of traffic at the moment. No one's going to be able to come and see us for Christmas.
I was going to ask, is it not likely to be
Yeah.
reciprocated? The government's not going to be risking the progress they've made?
No, at this stage, Japan's case number today, or Tokyo rather, was 6 cases. So you can imagine that there's not much appetite either politically or at the sort of average people level to sort of say, okay, fine, everybody come in and have New Year's Eve with us. So it's going to be one way. It's described to me today as a unilateral process.
How did, when we think back to the Tokyo Olympics and the case numbers were so high, people were very concerned that things would really run amok. How have things settled so well in Japan?
Yeah, every day, actually, the experts will be asked, why is it that Japan has managed so well? And they're a little unsure, actually, because the numbers have gone down to just such a dramatic drop. And as you say, at the time of the Olympics, there was great fear, there was great concern that we were really heading for some terrible times. But the vaccination rate has been terrific. At the moment, it's well and truly over 75% double vaxxed, highest in the G7. And it hasn't been politicised in the same way that I'm now seeing in Australia, for example. It's also obviously that the Japanese wear masks. I wear masks every day, all day. My grandchildren wear masks without any concern. Eat their little meals, put the mask back on again, running school races, off to picnics, mask on, mask off. Everybody's well attuned with that. So it's definitely masks.
That is interesting because, of course, culturally it is very much part of Japanese life anyway, even pre the pandemic. Is it also, when you think of the protests that are happening in Australia and Japan's been looking at those, is Japan, do you think, just become more compliant?
Oh, easily. It's not political like it is in Australia. There's no conspiracy theory. We don't have politicians who claim that this is, their right not to wear a mask, etc. The average person is comfortable with it. As you say, they're relatively used to it from pre-pandemic times. I don't think people want to wear masks for the rest of their lives. But I certainly think that, when I see a foreigner without a mask on, I think, right. And I generally give them a serve. But I don't know. I don't know what I can do with, marauding tourists hitting the Ginza Strip, demanding to walk around without a mask on, because the Japanese, have fought hard for this. And,
they don't want to give it up.
See. My son actually suggested today that perhaps the only way that tourists might be let in is that they actually create a mask that they put on as they arrive at Narita and that they can strip off when they leave, when they go back to Australia. But
permanently applied.
Permanently applied. Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
Those issues will really be monitored carefully. And, of course, the impact of the economic, the economic impact of travel too. It's something that's very much missed at the moment.
Yeah. Melanie, are people returning to the office? Are things getting back to normal in terms of work life?
Yeah, it's pretty much normal, just for the fact that we've got masks on. I don't actually know what the restrictions are at the moment because I don't think there are many. People are mindful of social distancing and the like, and offices have set up more hybrid sort of structures for people, days on, days off, teams in, teams out. Limitation on numbers and the like. But probably I sort of think that this might start to change at after the New Year break, when I'm sure employers will be looking forward to having people come back. But it's brought a huge level of flexibility into a very sort of structured and rigid workforce too. So that's been a fascinating and very much welcome change.
Yeah, I think that probably would be welcome indeed. Really good to chat, Melanie. Thanks so much for your time.
Pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Bye-bye.